Light. Decay, decay, decay.
Hi guys, before I begin with the video and begin with the review, I want to say that I'm sorry that I haven't been posting any videos or content lately on the channel. I want to apologize on my behalf. Again, I've just been busy with my personal life and just been busy with doing other things in my life. And I'm sorry that I haven't been, posting any Kamen Rider Gavv reviews or catch up with Kamen Rider Gavv and even with the current Sentai number 1 Sentai Gozoja, but I assure you after the video ends, I promise that I'm going to continue more of my Kamen Rider Gavv reviews. I'm going to be catching up to episode 30 of Kamen Rider Gavv once I review that, get up to that, and as for Gozoja, I'm going to catch up to episode 7 once I release the other episodes. But I just want to apologize on my behalf for why I haven't been posting any reviews of Kamen Rider Gavv or Gozoja. Again, I'm so sorry guys. I hope you guys understand why. I hope you guys can continue to stay around for my reviews on the series. But without further ado, let's continue on with the review. Okay, so the episode opens up with Satsuki and Shoma at this sort of like food event, and that they're making mochi, and Shoma and Satsuki are having fun making mochi, especially Shoma. And then we cut to Shoma and Satsuki eating the mochi that they made, and Shoma's like saying that he's having fun at this event and that he loves mochi and that he's gonna write this down on his food journal. And Satsuki is like happy for Shoma, and then eventually, she eventually tells him about, a missing school kid and also about missing persons as well. And then Shoma's really concerned. And then we cut to eventually cut to back at the handyman workplace, and we see Shoma and Hanto are talking about the missing kid, and eventually Hanto gives Shoma some information about missing persons as well, about they disappeared one day and that they no police have found them, and that it's strange. Shoma jumps to conclusion that it gotta be a Granu. But Hanto's like, look, Shoma, we don't know if it's a Granu yet. We need more information. Plus, we need an eyewitness to confirm if it was a Granu. Shoma's bummed out along with Hanto. And then we eventually cut to one of our villains, that being Neville, the scientist out of the Stomach Inc. Villains. And he's looking at at his tablet. And the tablet contains data on the next sort of like Kamen Rider gear, belt / driver, or Gavv, or whatever the drivers are called for Kamen Rider Gavv. But basically, he looks at his tablet of data, and it's complete, meaning that the driver or belt, that's going to be given to our next Kamen Rider. That's the Kamen Rider you see on screen, the image you see on screen. Neville eventually says it is complete. Time for the next phase, he says. And then eventually we cut to an office worker or office building, and we get to see our mysterious person that was in episode 16 that we saw foreshadowing that will become the next Kamen Rider of this episode, and he's a Granute, and we eventually find out he de-transforms of his human form and he goes into his Granute form. And then we see him, capturing, humans and, putting them, into, these stasis things, like, these, like, things, and then, like, the other Granus did. And we get to see him meeting up with Neville, and Neville offers him power if he offers him to join his side of the power chain, if you would. And so the Granute agrees. Again, I forgot our next Kamen Rider name. Again, I'm gonna learn his name in the next episode, guys. I promise you guys. I'm gonna learn his name. So then we cut to, Shoma and Hanto. They're doing some things. And eventually we get to see our next, Granute for this episode. Our, sort of like runaway Granute of the week for this episode. But the main subplot is our next Kamen Rider reveal. That being Kamen Rider Vlam. But we'll get to that later on. But eventually we see, our bird Granute, this bird-looking Granute wreaking havoc. And eventually, this woman, is the eyewitness. And we get to see the woman tries, gets the help. and eventually Shoma and Hanto shows up, and eventually they come to fight the bird granite, and they go into a fight with the bird granite. They're doing a little bit well. The bird granite does get an upper hand on Shoma and Hanto, but eventually Hanto uses the cake gochizo, the French cake gochizo. Again, I'm gonna try to learn the names of these. Again, it's been a while, guys. I'm gonna try my best to learn the gochizo's names and forms. But basically, Hanto goes to his French cake form, the one with the axe, guys, the form with the axe, and Shoma's still in his base form. Eventually, they're kicking butt, they're kicking ass, and eventually, the mysterious person shows up, and Hanto and Shoma are surprised. And eventually, the person, says, "Well, it's my turn to fight," and he transforms into his granite form. Shoma and Hanto are like, "It's another granite," and eventually, the granite, the one that becomes the Kamen Rider that we see on screen, the image you see, guys, on screen, he shows his belt / driver, puts it on, and then he henshins, and it's such a cool henshin. And I love the henshin sound for the belt. Might want to get the toy for it once I get some money, and might want to get the toy for that, for the Kamen Rider Vlam's driver. But so he transforms into a Kamen Rider. As we know, his official name is Kamen Rider Vlam, but he doesn't have the name yet in the show, or at least in the following episodes. So Kamen Rider Vlam transforms, and then he starts kicking Shoma and Hanto's ass, along with the bird granite. And Shoma and Hanto are like, "What the heck's going on? Another Kamen Rider?" They get their ass kicked, and then the episode cuts to a preview. And, well, that's the end of the episode. What are my thoughts on this episode? It's another fantastic episode. I love seeing, Shoma and Satsuki interacting again. Love seeing, more of the story develop. Seeing more of the story arc develop with, our new Kamen Rider, introduction with Kamen Rider Vlam. Love seeing the introduction of our new character, that being our new Kamen Rider. And love seeing, the fact that Neville, there might be setting up that Neville might be the main villain, or at least one to seize power. And I love that. And I just love this episode in general. And again, guys, I want to say that I'm sorry that I haven't been posting consistently. I know I keep saying that in the beginning of the video, but I truly mean it, guys. I'm sorry that I haven't been posting videos consistently or posting any reviews lately. Again, I want to apologize on my behalf. And I understand if you guys don't want to watch my reviews anymore. That's totally reasonable. But if you guys are still around to watch my reviews and still around to support my reviews, that really is awesome, and I really appreciate that you guys are sticking around to watch my reviews and still sticking around to support the reviews. And I'm going to try my best to post more reviews of Kamen Rider Gavv and try to catch up to episode 30 and try to post an episode 30 review once I catch up to the other episodes that I missed and couldn't review on the channel. And same goes for number 1 Sentai Gazodra. I'm going to be posting those episodes as well, catching up to episode 7 and catching up all the way to episodes 8 and 9 as well. So I hope you guys can stay tuned for that and continue to stay tuned and support my reviews on those as well. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video review. I hope you guys like and enjoy this review. Make sure to like and share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel. By subscribing to the channel, you'll be really supporting me as a content creator and really supporting your channel. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.